I would say that you sure did a good. Say that again.
Maxie Parker, when we do his dishes, he said, "You surely do how to do dishes good." He says, "You done my dishes so well." And I said, "Well, we had a good teacher. Grandma taught us how to be clean and how to do dishes. And, I mean, they were done properly."
That's right. And who's your grandma?
Celia Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Ezra Bird was their friend from Beaver, and that was Grandma's husband. But he had, the Parker house was here on the one corner, and Grandpa's blacksmith shop was the third building down in the next block, and then our house was right on the corner. And we took fresh bread and butter up to them all the time, and every once in a while they'd give us a bucket of honey to take home to Mama, and they'd pretty well know that our honey was used up. But they wanted to keep us in honey if we kept them in butter. Butter and jelly. It was good.
Well, this was big news that Butch Cassidy's Maximilian's son was Butch Cassidy. Is that a big deal in Circleville, that town, when you were growing up?
Now what?
Was it a big story that
Yes.
Maximilian's son was Butch Cassidy, the famous outlaw?
Oh, definitely. He never dared to come there in the daytime. He always came at night. And Lula said that she'd always know when he was coming. So she'd put her kids to bed early and go up and spend most of the night with Butch. And she'd baking bread and cakes and stuff like that. She knew Butch all the time and knew where he was and what he was doing. But she says, "I never told anybody. It was nobody's business." So she didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, you're helping us to record history about Butch Cassidy.
Lula was good to him. And I suppose he was good to Lula. I know he was helping his mother work on the house the day that he left when he was 14. He was putting on the outside of the house, I think, and when he left, and he told how she cried. He didn't want him to go, but he said, I've got to go. I've got to get out in the world and do something, and he did.
What did he do?
He's a stinker. Butch was, yeah, kind of a stinker.
Yeah.
He's done a little stealing and drinking and what have you, but he was still a good man.
Well, a well-liked outlaw.
Yeah, he was, and he used to bring these horses at night to Grandpa's shop, and Grandpa would shoe his horses by the light of the forge. He'd light up that old forge and heat the horseshoes and fit them and put them on, and he took care of Butch's horses.
And your grandpa's name is?
Ezra Bird.
Ezra Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you remember that? And your grandpa telling you that story, huh?
I remember, yeah. In fact, I suppose I've been out there with him helping, watching him do Butch's horses' shoes. And I remember those horses some different horses being tied up to the posts in front of the shop, and I guess they were Butch's.
Wow, that's neat.
But this one old guy was telling me that he was coming to town one day, and there was a hell of a dust in Grandpa Parker's corral. And said this guy come out the fence and he told this guy, he says, "Butch is here getting a bunch of horses. Get the hell out of here. Don't tell anybody what you seen." So that was the way it was.
Oh, that's so neat that you remembered that.
I do. He told me that when I worked in the curio store. They were good friends with the Parkers. His mother and dad and the Parkers.
What's the curio store?
Sure, well, that's what it was called, the Red Canyon Indian Store. It's still there. It's on that side of Main Street in Panguitch. And I worked in that, and that's where I heard a lot of stuff.
Got any more stories for you? I'm just fascinated.
Well, probably too many to even begin to tell, but these guys kind of kept track of the Parkers, and then they'd tell me about them. But the Parkers, they left, and I found out that Leroy Parker was in Tropic for a long, long time. Some family hid him up in Tropic.
This Tropic, Utah.
Mm-hmm. But he brought his horses there to have them shod. Grandpa shod all of his horses for him. And we knew they were Butch's horses, but we were supposed to keep our mouths shut.
There you go.
We didn't tell people that they were Butch's horses.
And your grandpa told you to keep your mouth shut.
Be still. He always said they're Butch's friends, horses, you know, so he said, just keep your mouth shut, because he says they kind of get after Butch's horses, you know, too, so anyway, we wasn't supposed to talk when those horses were brought to the shop and being shod. We didn't tell people that they were Butch's horses. We didn't. We just didn't want to talk about it. We were told not to, and we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And always my grandpa Bird was a good friend of the Parkers. They both came from Beaver, you know. They were good friends. And